And welcome to today's workshop, which is hosted by the Comms Avenue. My name is Adedoyin Jaiyesimi, and I am the Chief Communications Consultant at the Comms Avenue. So I just give you a brief intro as to what we do at the Comms Avenue. We're a capacity building and knowledge exchange platform for communications professionals across the world. And what we do is we create capacity building and growth opportunities for all of our community members. Currently, we have over 370 communications professionals from Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Zimbabwe, United Kingdom, United States, and Canada, and our community keeps on growing. And today's workshop really is just to, as you can see, the topic, which is becoming a world-class professional. We're really going to just deep dive into that because one of our vision is to make sure that all of our community members are equipped with what they need to become world-class professionals. And if COVID has shown us anything, is that the world is more connected and opportunities are opened up. So how should you, as a communications professional, begin to position yourself? So let's get right to it. I'll start off with this quote from Jerry Rice, which says, I think the thing about that was I was always willing to work. I was not the fastest or biggest player, but I was determined to be the best football player I could be on the field. And I think I was able to accomplish that through hard work. What I want to highlight from this very, very lovely quote is that this person, Jerry, was determined to be the best football player that he could be on the football field. It wasn't even about the next person. It was really about himself. And to be a world-class professional, you must always, always give your 100%, bring forth or put out the very best version of yourself concerning everything that you do. And that's the foundation on which this workshop is going to be built. So who is a world-class professional? A world-class professional is someone whose results are synonymous with excellence. Excellence and being a world-class professional are just two peas in a pod. You cannot be a world-class professional if you're not committed to excellence, if you're not committed to delivering excellent results. You must be someone who has an exceptional work ethic. Your work ethic is very, very important. What are you dependable? Do you have integrity? Do you give the best results? Are you known for a certain level of standard? That's all defined by your work ethic. You're someone who goes the extra mile. Do you just stop short at what is expected, or do you go above and beyond? And this even applies whether what you're doing is a free job or you're being paid, $100 million. It's the same quality and level of delivery because you go the extra mile. And are you the kind of professional that you're already thinking about the solutions rather than just being absorbed with the problems? A world-class professional is somebody who is consistent and dependable. This is very, very important. People must know you for who you are, must understand, or must know that, look, this person, I trust that this person would always deliver. I can go to sleep. And that's the same thing with my clients. They know that they can go to sleep. Even when they give me work on tight deadlines, they know that they can go to sleep and I would deliver, and I would deliver excellently well. I won't give them a mediocre job. If I can't do it because of time constraints, I would always tell them. But that consistency over time has really endeared me to majority of my clients. And then you're somebody who is constantly improving, because the truth is things are changing. Digital trends are changing. Trends in communications are trending. So you must be invested in yourself. You must be somebody who is learning from different people and different sources. So the question that I have to ask you as a professional, what are your values? What do you stand by? What are the pillars that drive what you do as a communications professional? And these are some of the values that I believe you should and you need to adopt if you want to be a world-class professional. Number one, you must have integrity. Integrity is so, so important. Be a man or woman of your word. Don't say one thing and do the other. Now, we know that life happens. You say you want to do something and something comes up and maybe doesn't allow you to achieve what you said you will do. The right thing for you to do is reach out to your clients, reach out to those who are depending on you and say, I'm really sorry, I am not able to deliver in this particular timeline, and tell them when you'll be able to deliver. And if it now happens that you can't even deliver at all, please give an explanation as to why. Don't just deliver just or just go away or just disappear or not deliver at all. You must be a woman or a man of your word. You must be resourceful. When plan A and plan B don't work out, you must be able to think of plan C, D, F, and you also have to do it in such a way that you think quickly. Again, like I said, disruptions happen so quickly. I remember when I used to work in a magazine and I'm managing photo shoots and things just happen. Spill on the clothes, um, just weird things, makeup artists canceling last minute. I think we had a situation where the shoe didn't fit, and you just really have to be able to improvise. You have to be able to think calmly. And one of the things about being resourceful and being able to think on your feet, especially when you're in the middle of a brief, is to be calm. Because I remember my early days, I used to panic. Oh my God, things are going wrong. But then when you're panicked, you can't think. So you have to also develop the ability to be calm and think beyond that crisis or think beyond that thing that is not going right and think of other plans. And what over time, even as you grow, you then begin to. So if I'm doing a shoot, for example, I know the plausible things that can go wrong and I prepare for those things. Now, I'm not saying that things outside those things will not go wrong, but at least because of the experience that I've had, I make contingency plans for the things that I know can or possibly could happen. So you must be resourceful. You must be solution oriented. Everybody spots the problems because they're out there, they're obvious. But I urge you and I encourage you to be among the few who are able to come up with the solutions. Don't be so focused on, oh, this is how it's done. Oh, this problem, this is why it can't be done. We see that, but what are the ways in which you can override this problem and find a solution? And the truth is that when you think, because our brain is so powerful, when you think deeply, you would actually come up with a solution. And this is where your creativity comes in. Creativity allows you to think, I always say, don't try to think inside a box. Think like there is no box at all. Be resilient. I mean, I think that maybe this should have been number one because things will definitely go wrong. Um, Plans not going as you thought it would, something just going off course. This year, coronavirus happened. You must be able to push through. People will say no to you, but you must be able to deliver. So if you have a plan and that plan depends on you reaching out to people and them saying yes and they do not say yes, what are you going to do about it? You must push through until you get what it is that you want to get. And again, creativity comes there, but build thick skin. Don't be afraid of no's. I've come to a point in my journey that I say, what is the worst that will happen? This person is going to say no. This person is going to ignore my email. And I've had so many significant yeses to be stopped or deterred by the no's. So be resilient. Again, consistency is coming up. Be consistent in the delivery of your results, in the way that you show up as a professional. So when you go for meetings, even when you appear at virtual meetings, are you appearing professionally? Are you true to your personal brand as a communications professional who is world class? So you must be committed and consistently deliver those results. Don't deliver excellent results today and then tomorrow because maybe the budget is lower, you just do a shabby job. All the briefs that I work on, whether it's free, whether it's paid, whether it's short term, whether it's long term, whether they even pay me my balance, I give the same level of creativity. I go over and beyond. I want to do work that I would be proud of that I did 5 years from now, 10 years of now. If it's going to have my name on it, there's a standard that I expect of myself. And I encourage you to do that as well. And also be confident. You must own your professional ability and your growth and your success. A lot of times, we communications professionals, we love to be behind the scene. We love, and we're usually people that are affected by imposter syndrome. I was sharing a story with somebody as one time, still in the magazine role, we had tried to come up with a new concept for the cover, which was an illustration, and there was a big event around it. And then it was time for the event, and I was being told that I was going to come out to talk about the journey to that place and unveil the magazine, and I just froze. I'm like, what am I going to say on that stage? But I did the work. I knew everything. I knew it. I did the work, but to just come out and own what I did was a problem. And I went to go and hide. In fact, I think I put my phone on silent and then somebody else had to seize the moment. But things like that shouldn't really happen because I'm good at what I do. And you must be able to develop your confidence. So over time, I've been able to develop my confidence. Later on, I'm going to talk about your self-image, how you can develop it if you still, suffer from imposter syndrome. Your commitment to excellence. To become a world-class professional, you must go the extra mile for excellence. Excellence is not something that you just achieve and you go to sleep. Excellence is a continuous journey. It's a journey that takes you on the path of how can I be better? How can this be better? How can this be even greater than what it is right now? And to achieve excellence, to be somebody who is constantly on that path of excellence, you must always ask yourself, is this the very best I can deliver? When you do a presentation, you're doing a press release, you're doing a communication strategy, you're doing an execution plan, you're in a strategy session, ask yourself, is this the very best I can deliver? Can I go the extra mile? I've spent, sometimes I've worked overnight because I just say to myself, I didn't know there's more that you can add to this plan. There's more that you can offer to this client. It doesn't matter whether they appreciate the hard work that you put. Remember, this is about you. It's not even about your client. It's about you delivering what you are proud of. So ask yourself, is this the very best that I can deliver? The second question is, what can I do to make this even better? The truth is that for everything you do, there's always something you can do to make it even better. And that's why I love learning. That's why I love interacting with people. I love hearing what people are working on, what briefs they're doing, because it gives me ideas. I'm like, oh wow, that can be done. Oh, this is very interesting. Oh, this is how I can, a few weeks ago, somebody was talking to me about audiograms, and she showed me an app. I scrolled through her page, and she had this 1 minute audio post from her podcast. She calls it 1 minute podcast. And I was so fascinated by it. And I reached out to her and she told me how she did it. And I was like, oh, wow. And I started to think of ways I could incorporate that into what I do for my clients or even my own personal brand. So think and ask yourself, what can I do to make this even better? Number three, is this something I'll be proud of after this moment? Don't do something that you will cringe 5 years down the line because you didn't give your very best. It's not worth it. You want to create a track record and a consistent record of excellence. Yes, there will be times that you will make mistakes. There will be times that you drop the ball. But because you are known for excellence, even your clients will excuse you and say, oh, no, this is not Adedoyin. Something must have happened. Something must have gone wrong. And usually when you make mistakes, it's that something went wrong. I love this quote by Tim Duncan. It says, good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. So it's just really that commitment and that desire. And if that's always at the back of your mind when you work, then you begin to, it's just the way that your mind opens up when you're committed to excellence. You begin to stumble on resources. You just begin to see, you think more creatively, I believe, when you do that. Again, like I said before, excellence is a journey. You don't achieve it once and close the chapter. You continue to pursue it. And as you do so, you stretch your capacity and proficiency as a professional. I think that this is a very, very important point. I always tell my team when I'm with them and they send me documents that are not well formatted, and I spot the minute I open it, I just spot it. I spot the different fonts, I spot the different line spacing, and I tell them that it is tedious when you first start to make sure that your document is properly formatted, is properly aligned, and all of that, making sure the fonts, making sure the spacing, making sure that the headlines and the sub headlines have the same what's it called now, character. So if you capitalize the first word of the first letter of each word, you have to make sure that it's consistent for all headings. It is tedious, but the thing is that the more you do it, the easier it becomes. So for me, it's second nature for me to do it. I can spot a badly formatted document. I can just spot the mistakes as quickly as possible, and it doesn't take me time to align all of that because I've done it so many times that it has become a part of me. So go through that tedious process of getting things right, of doing things according to the right standard. And the more that you do it, the more you'll be able to do it with ease. And you also stretch your capacity, then you stretch your proficiency, then you begin to do it from sleep. It then becomes natural to you to do those things. So excellence means you stay on top of the latest developments in the industry. As a communications professional, this is so important. Things are changing, new trends are coming, new apps, stay on top of it. How does this apply for my clients? How can I use this for my organization? And that's how I think this this new trend that's happening, this conversation, when you do social listening, this conversation, how can I infuse it into my communication strategy? How can I tweak my approach to how I see communications, how I see branding, how I see public relations, how I engage with media platforms? And that's the way you need to be thinking, asking questions. I love asking questions, because when you ask the questions, then you give yourself the permission, or you give the permission for the answers to find you. The second thing excellence means is that you give your creative best always, always, always. No days off, no days off. And I know that it's tasking, especially when you've been overstretched. So as much as possible, do take rest. But if you have to do it, make sure you give your creative best. You invest in your professional development. So going for courses, we're in a period where there are a lot of free webinars. Go for them, go for paid courses. If you need to go for one-on-one session, whatever it is to upskill and invest in your professional development, please do it. Stay away from all forms of mediocrity. I think that should be a capital letter. Please, mediocrity and being a world-class professional, they're just at odds with each other. You can't merge the two together. So do not stand for any form of mediocrity. Let it be far away from you. And number five is that you're constantly looking out for value adding opportunities. And this is not even just opportunities for you to get a higher position. It's just opportunities to add value to other people. So volunteering, giving advice, using your LinkedIn page to share your knowledge, because that is also how you stretch your ability, your capacity. You learn. I mean, when you teach people, you solidify what you know. So look out for value adding opportunities that add value to you, and opportunities through which you can add value to others. Steve Jobs said, be a yardstick of quality. People aren't used to an environment where excellence is expected. So, what standard are you setting for yourself? And I'm not even saying that you should be unrealistic about these standards, but have a good standard, have an excellent standard that people just are just, when they're recommending you, they're like, oh, when you send it to this person, you can go to sleep, because it is going to be a world class document that she's going to send. There's going to be a world class presentation that she's going to deliver. Okay, so the final part of being a world class professional is your self image. How you see yourself as a professional is very critical. I spoke about imposter syndrome, and the truth is that if you see yourself as a small person, you will continue to remain small. You will continue to just up, see things in a limited way. You must have a good sense of self image and worth. And it's very, very, very important if you want to be world class, because being world class means that you're operating on a global level. You're able to execute briefs on a global level. You're able to project your personal brand on a global level. You must be able to you need to have a good self image for you to be able to do that. So deep diving into your self-image, be confident about your ability and your talent. Never look down on yourself and what you do. Don't say, oh, all I do is just social media. Oh, I just use, I think it's a false modesty. Oh, just this little Canva. No, what you do is great. What you do is outstanding. You have ability. If you write, you're a great and outstanding writer. And be confident. I write really well. So what one thing that I did that helped me to overcome imposter syndrome was to know what it is that I know how to do very well. I know how to create great copy. I own it. I applaud myself. I did a project recently, and when I finished, I started clapping because the words were sweet. When the when the words were flowing, I was like, Adedoyin, this is great. This is amazing. And you must be able to, and that ties into that second point of find ways to affirm yourself daily. But I know that I know how to write. I know that I know how to create communication strategy. I know how to create presentations that will blow your mind away. I don't like horrible looking presentations, so I take my time to create presentations that are good looking. And I know how to manipulate Canva very well to create nice designs. I may not be a graphic artist, but I do a good job, and I own it, and I praise it. Don't try to belittle what you do. It's not good for you. It's not good for anybody. Find ways to affirm yourself. Like I said, just encourage yourself. Wow, you're an excellent communicator. You're an excellent presenter. You're an excellent public relations expert. Wow, you've managed that brief so excellently. One thing that helps me is that my group of friends, they're also my hype women, and they say things like, communications, chief communicator of life, or strategist of life. It just helps to, especially in those times where you make mistakes and you're feeling like, oh, Do I really know what I'm doing? Or when that voice, I don't know that voice of doubt that comes with imposter syndrome goes away, but you can drown that voice. And when that voice comes, you can listen to the greater voice that reminds you of your greatness, that reminds you of your awesomeness. So make sure you find ways to affirm yourself daily. Celebrate all your wins and milestones. Everything you accomplish is huge. I've come to a point in my life personally where everything, for example, everything God does for me is huge. Sometimes we say this is big testimony, this is a small testimony. It's a great testimony. There's nothing like small or big, and that's the way I also celebrate my wins and my milestones. It is huge. Celebrate yourself, and by celebrating yourself, it can just be give yourself a pat on the back. It can just be take yourself out, splurge a little, just do something to celebrate and acknowledge and document these your wins, because they form part of who you are and part of your expertise as a professional, and they help you to build your self image. And don't let your self worth be tied to praise or criticism. The truth is that you should never let praise get to your head and criticism get to your heart. And it can be very hard if you're somebody like me that you pour your heart into what you do, and if somebody is criticizing it and you just, it's okay to feel bad. There are times that I've received feedback that have made me cry. There are times I've just been like, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to lock my door. But it's okay. Cry if you need to cry. Take ice cream. But then you must dust, everything off and then keep going. You keep going. If the feedback that you get is not what you expected, be able to just say, okay, what are the valid things I need to take out of this feedback, and then move on. But do not let somebody's criticism of you affect your perception of yourself. And which is why affirming yourself daily, celebrating and documenting your wins, very necessary. It allows you to say, look, I've come this far, I've done all this. Surely I am not terrible at what I do. So it gives you a better perspective about what you are able to accomplish. Trying again, so tied to the points before this, try not to take negative feedback too personally. I always, when I get negative feedback, I'm always on the lookout. Okay, are they doing? What do you need to improve? What do you need to work on? Take that and keep moving. Chuck the rest of it and move on. You don't even need to hate the person. They're giving you the feedback. If they gave it harshly or nicely, that's their problem. Identify your areas of growth and keep moving. Now, do not become proud, because self-image and self-confidence is not pride. Be humble enough to know that you can learn from any and everyone. I can call anybody. I don't, even if you're just 1 year in the communications industry or you're still a student, if you know something that I don't know, or if you have insight that I don't have, or you have knowledge that I feel like I can benefit from, I'm going to call you, I'm going to engage you, I'm going to speak with you, because nobody can know it all. So please, it's essential to remain humble. And always remember that at the end of the day, you are human. Don't be too hard on yourself when you make mistakes or fall short. Even, the fact that I'm a great writer, I remember one day I sent in a copy, and the feedback that I got was that, she was asking me whether you went through the copy before. And then, because I saw the email trail, and she was like, oh, make sure, please send this to Adedoyin. And the person said it was Adedoyin that sent it. And they're like, no, this can be from Adedoyin. And I was like, what happened? And I checked it, and the mistakes, oh my goodness. And this particular copy, I had done it at 4 a.m. Now I was really, really tired. Ideally, I should have just said, and let me just sleep and do this in the morning. But I was behind the schedule of the deadline, and they needed it, and I didn't want to disappoint, and I wanted to just send it. So I just forced myself to do it. Clearly, that was a bad decision, because even the errors, I was cringing that, oh my goodness. But hey, I'm only human. The mistake had been made, and I just determined to do better. I determined to myself, okay, when you're stretched out and tired like that, do not bother trying to edit. It's just not going to work. And lastly, never forget that you have the capacity to do amazing things. This journey is a beautiful journey, because you keep growing, you keep learning, and take everything and just have fun with it. I always say the communications professional, try and have fun. Don't be too hard on yourself, and explore where this journey can possibly take you to. So to come to the end of the presentation, I hope that you've enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please let me know and I'll be able to take it. Don't forget to engage with us at the Comms Avenue. We have a LinkedIn page at the Comms Avenue, and Instagram at Comms Avenue. And if you're a communications professional on this call and you are yet to sign up for our community, please do so. The link is bit.ly/TCA sign up. The community, every week we're sharing knowledge, we're exchanging knowledge, we're interacting with communications professionals from across the world. We're growing every day, sharing resources, sharing insights. Some people come and say, oh, I need a contact at XYZ, and someone is able to say, oh, I know somebody that people are collaborating. So I implore you to join the community and engage with us, engage with me on social media, Adedoyin Jaiyesimi, on LinkedIn, at Adedoyin Jaiyesimi on Instagram. If you have any questions, comments, I'm happy to take them. So thank you very much and have enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.